Last week, the owner of X, a migrant himself, used his personal account to amplify disinformation about the sovereign decision by my government, the regularization of 500,000 migrants that live, work, and contribute.
So I want to point out, like, this is the actual sin. This is why they're going X, is because Elon Musk has opinions, and they have no answer to those opinions. They do not have the ability to engage in debate and explain why 500,000 migrants is actually good for the voter. Like, they would say something grandiose. It's like, well, it's good for the economy, it's good for the country, it's good for... How is it good for Hernandez? Like, actual Hernandez. You know, he lives in Spain, he votes, he pays taxes. How is it good for him personally? Like, when you say it's good for the economy, sure, you know, it may be good for the hotel owner. It may be good, like, for someone that's operating a big business. But how is it good for Juan and Pablo on the ground? They can't explain that. Or maybe they can, but they don't want to engage with it. And so what they do is they censor literally every single thing they can on any person that goes against their narrative.
To the success of our country.
I mean, this is the problem, right? Like, do Spanish people feel successful? Like, no, seriously, like, do Spanish people genuinely, unironically feel successful? And it's not like, do they feel successful compared to the United States? It's like, do Spanish people feel more successful than their parents? Do they genuinely feel that? Because I have a feeling, looking at the polls, they probably don't, which is why the government needed to create 500,000 votes. Because this is what it's about. This is why people are upset, right? By creating votes, you're watering down the voting power of the citizen. Like, for example, imagine this, you know, like, it's just the two of us, we're running a company, and we're voting. Our vote matters, right? Now, imagine 10 more people come in. Now there's 12 of us. How powerful was our vote before versus how powerful is our vote now? Like, the more people come in, the more watered down your votes are. And not to mention, everybody knows how those 500,000 of people are going to vote like. And so, like, people are noticing the scam. It's like, well, okay, so we're in a democracy. And the whole purpose of democracy is to be able to punish the leaders when they do something bad. Like, unfortunately, you can't imprison them, right? Like, if a doctor botches a surgery, he can go to prison. If an engineer destroys a bridge, he can go to prison. If a politician destroys the economy, he retires, right? But at least the idea is that you can actually make it so that he stops getting taxpayer money, that he actually stops sitting on that chair, like him as the individual. At least you have that power. And so what the politicians decided, well, what if we fuck things up and then we just, like, import more voters in? And, like, I'm sorry, that's not democratic, right? Like, that's not how any nation on earth envisioned democracy to be like. It's like, make bad decisions, and then when it's time to get replaced, just get more people in. Just get more people in. It's like, let's be honest, you know? Like, this is why people are upset. And the other thing that people are upset are the censorship. This shit, right? Because, like, it goes hand in hand. You bring more people in, you put more censorship on the people that were there previously. You bring more people in, you crack down on complaints. Because the censorship, like, what does it go? It goes against people complaining. Now, here's the interesting thing. France apparently just raided Elon Musk's headquarters. That's how the news say it. In reality, it's not Elon Musk. Like, they like to put a face on it. He just happens to own the company, but there's more people working there, right? Whatever the case may be. They want to create him as the villain, as the boogeyman. Because apparently Grok was allowed to sexualize people. Grok wasn't allowed to do shit, okay? Like, some person prompted Grok to show sexualized images. That's like saying Kodak was allowing people to take photographs of naked children. It's like Kodak, the company, doesn't allow shit. Like, it's a tool. The photographer is the criminal. And the thing is, like, most people know this, but whatever. The politicians don't seem to listen to what the public has to say anyway. And despite the fact that numbers show that ChatGPT and Gemini and all of the other platforms, they too can sexualize people just fine. Despite the fact that if you look at social media, Instagram is the number one platform that had the most cases of XSAM, and then Facebook, and Twitter was pretty much at the bottom. Like, despite all that, they're constantly going after Elon Musk. And now they're going after him in the UK, they're going after him in France, and they also went after Telegram. And so people genuinely do not believe that these leaders are actually about protecting the children unless they themselves are the children needing protection. What people believe is that they are unironically importing votes and they just want to crack down on opposition, and they do not want private citizens to be able to talk with each other, to organize in different political parties, to support different political candidates, and to hopefully oust them from the election. Like, despite the fact that it's a democracy, they want to govern in perpetuity. I'm looking at how elections happen in the European Union. They always treat it like it would be the end of the world, like it is the calamity if the other side manages to win for even 4 years. And it's like, well, that's not how government is supposed to function, right? In a democracy. Like, you're actually supposed to have, like you have in the United States, you have the Democrats taking over, then you have the Republicans taking over. Like, there should be a peaceful transition of power. There isn't the idea that, no, like in the country, there is only one way that's acceptable, and that is worshipping migration, and any other talking point is not allowed. There is only one way, which is environmentalism, and anyone else that has a different idea is not allowed. There is only one mindset during the pandemic, and any country or any person that wants to do things differently is not allowed. This is not democracy. Like, by this level, just get rid of the sham and bring back monarchy. You know, call yourself imperialist, right? Crown Ursula von der Leyen as the emperor of the Europe. And you guys should be like the aristocracy, and I should be the subject. And then, you know, I don't care who you're bringing, what you're doing, and what, like, none of that would matter, right? Now, here's the interesting part. Even people that like the European Union have to come to terms with the fact that rarely have we ever had in European history leaders that are this unpopular. I think, like, maybe in World War I, but, like, even then, no, like, they are at the historical low. Whether you're looking at the United Kingdom, whether you're looking at France, whether you look, like almost everywhere you look in the European Union, they are absolutely desperate because they are hemorrhaging popularity. And so they need to come up with these tricks. They need to censor people. They need to cancel people. They need to justify why their opposition should not be allowed to govern. And it ends up with the fact where now they're importing votes. Like, this would have never been conceivable. Like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago, no one would have thought about this tactic. It's like, okay, what if we just get 500,000 people and treat our nation as if it's an economic zone? It's not a culture anymore. It's not a country. It's like anyone that comes here gets the paperwork, and all of a sudden they have the same rights and obligations as our citizens, except that if there's a war, they now have like dual citizenship and they can just leave the country. Which is probably what I would be doing in their situation, right? So let me get this straight. Like, Romania couldn't enter Schengen because, like, they were very concerned about the border. But now Spain just makes people Europeans. And they can come over here in Romania as well, right? Because, like, all of the borders are integrated. So, like, this guy's decision means that 500,000 people can now just go to Hungary or Poland. And Hungary and Poland has literally no way to stop them. That's very oboshiroi, isn't it? And they can also vote in the EU elections as well. So am I to understand that if the current government in the European Union is going to hemorrhage votes, they can just, like, import 7 million people? Like, what would stop them, though? Seriously, like, what would stop them? If they were to just say, all of the immigrants that have been in Europe, all, I don't know, like 10 million of them, yeah, they're getting citizenship. How is that advantaging me, though? Like, what benefit do I get? Do I get anything? No. I get my votes watered down. I get welfare problems now, right? Because, like, they're going to say, oh, well, you're not having enough children for welfare. Yeah, it's a very interesting shit show. And in order for them to continue the shit show, they have to crack down on X, and they have to crack down on Elon Musk. This is what it's about. It's not about, like, safetyism. It's not about Grok putting some women in a bikini. They're not even interested in, like, who did it. They're not even trying to find out the people that use Grok to put women in a bikini, because they don't care. That's not what it's about. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.